We have been constantly discussing since 2 3 days terms like decolonization, neo neocolonialism, and cultural diversity, and terms like abrogation. All these are somehow and even appropriation, to some extent globalization, nativism. If you observe all these things, indirectly we are touching upon another area, another very important key term. What is that? We have studied it last year, or in the first semester, maybe in second or third semester. All these isms, all these theories, all these key terms are hitting at one important question, that is the question of existentialism, astitvavada. Okay, when we come across the crisis of decolonization, when we read about the globalization, when we talk about the subaltern culture, when we question ourselves on native elements in literature, all these questions are asking a question constantly, that what is the significance of an individual? What is your identity? What is your culture? What is your, all these questions have been asked, keeping these key terms before us. Okay, so today's concept, that is a post-colonial reading, is also hitting upon, or it is discussing indirectly, the question of identity, the crisis of identity. Okay, so post-colonial reading involves above all mentioned topics. Okay, all the literature that talks about decolonization, globalization, subalternism, nativism, neoclassicism, or cultural diversity, cartography, ethnography, all these, all the books and the authors who have discussed these topics seriously, they come under the umbrella of post-colonial reading. Means the post-colonial literature has the features of this post-colonial literature or post-colonial reading is all the above mentioned key terms. Okay, so another interpretation is possible. Post-colonial literature often addresses the problems of consequences of the decolonization. See, just now I told you that decolonization is also the part of the post-colonial reading. ಒಂದು ನೀವು ಗಮನಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಇದುವರೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೀ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಸೇರಿಸಿದರೆ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಕಲೋನಿಯಲ್ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಥೀಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ post colonial reading? Then your answer must be, the post colonial reading deals with the topics like decolonization, globalization and all the other things that we have been discussing. Okay, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಕಲೋನಿಯಲ್ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ಲಿಟರೇಚರ್ ಆಫನ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಿಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ decolonization of a country, especially questions relating to the political and cultural independence of formerly subjugated people, and themes such as racialism and colonialism. A range of literary theory or a range of post-colonial reading has evolved around all these subjects. Okay, it is not going to discuss, he says, two important areas he has mentioned. First one is political and cultural independence. The concern of post-colonial reading is the political and cultural independence. Means a writing like Azadi by Chaman Nahal. It's a novel that seriously discusses about the political and cultural independence of India. Okay, so book like Train to Pakistan by Khushwant Singh. It's a novel that talks about the cultural diversity and the political independence of India. So all those texts and the literature, whether written by Indian or any writer, one who is talking about the people who have lost identity after the colonial rule or during the colonial rule, that becomes a post-colonial reading. ನಿಮಗೆ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ colonial ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಯಾವುವು, ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಈವನ್ ಓರಿಯೆಂಟಲಿಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಡ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಸಯೀದ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸಸ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. It may be Gayatri Spivak's essay in South African literature, that also the post-colonial reading. Some of the very important essays written by Majumdar and some other people here in India are also the best post-colonial readings. Okay, so post-colonial reading is one of the important developments after the independence of a country. I gave the list of ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಥ್ನೋಗ್ರಫಿಯನ್ನು ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಗಳು ಲಿಬರೇಟ್ ಆದವು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು. ನೆನಪಿದೆಯಾ? ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ, ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಇಂಪೀರಿಯಲಿಸಮ್, ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಇಂಪೀರಿಯಲಿಸಮ್, and when and how they became independent, and what psychological trauma the people faced, that has been treated as a post-colonial reading. And post-colonial reading is the literature by people from formerly, ಅದು ಭಾಳ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಅವನು, ಯಾರು ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಲಿ colonized ಕಂಟ್ರಿಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದರು ಅವರಿಂದ ರಚಿತವಾದ ಲಿಟ್ರೇಚರ್. For example, literature written by Rudyard Kipling, literature written by any writer, E.M. Forster, it is not a colonial reading. Okay, ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು colonial reading ಅನ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೌದಾ? Do you know, there was one important writer in British literature, but he has widely written about India. His name is E.M. Forster. But this cannot be treated as colonial reading. ಅದನ್ನು colonial reading ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನೀವು ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ರಿಡಿಯರ್ಡ್ ಕಿಪ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಕೂಡ ತುಂಬ ಲಿಟ್ರೇಚರ್ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ colonial ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು colonial ಲಿಟ್ರೇಚರ್ ಅನ್ನಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ ಲಿಟ್ರೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ independence of a country or a colony that is written, that is called post-colonial reading. ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ನೆನಪಾಗ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಎನಿ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಬುಕ್? ಹಲೋ? Another possibility that he is talking, a good way to start any post-colonial literature is to think about the origin of the term post-colonialism, how it has been used in literary criticism. From roughly the late 1980s to present times, ಇವನು ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾನ್ 1980 ಇಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಲಿಟ್ರೇಚರ್ನ ನಾವು post-colonial reading ಅನ್ಬೋದು. The term is sometimes written with a great force of native oppressions and abrogations. Okay, so post-colonialism, it involves a studied engagement with the experience of the colonialism and its past and present effects. Hello? ಹಲೋ, ಯಾರು ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. It should be acknowledged, however, that whether the developments were that led to the formation of the field of post-colonial studies, it has to be seen more in terms of long process rather than a series of events, with the central impulses of their process coming from variety of sources, sometimes outside any concern with colonialism. Okay, so he says it does not mean that a post-colonial literature should come or is expected only from the people who have undergone the sufferings of colonial rule.